Biocode. In this video, we will see how we can utilize ggplot to apply aesthetics on our data visualization. In previous videos, we saw how we can manipulate our data into data visualization through ggplot2 and how we could provide the data to our ggplot2 function and provide x-axis and y-axis as well as the selection of geom type. For example, it could be a violin chart, it could be a bar chart, it could be a scatter plot chart. So to get started in this video, what we will try to address in this video is the fact that how can we visualize biological data. In previous videos we did not use biological data, but in this video we will utilize biological data because obviously we are bioinformaticians and our viewers are bioinformaticians. They are biological analysts. So in that scenario, we should be utilizing biological data so that you can make sense of your own data in a more meaningful way. In this video, we have two types of data, which is first is a human data, which is chromosome wise data, and that has start position, end position chromosome, the column that has chromosome numbers, and then the quantitative information about either it's a weak taxon, either it's an enhancer, promoter, elongation, or that sort of information, or it is a copy number variation. So that sort of information is present within this file, which is hmmdata.txt. You can find this file in the transcription, and you may need this. You can work on your own data, which I recommend, but you can also get this data in the transcription and then get started with your own sort of analysis. Then we also have another file that is a human mitochondrial proteome file that has proteomic information about the proteins that are available within the mitochondria and either at what positions they do start. The first accession is provided. This information is redundant and we don't need it, which is basically information about the database which consists of which contains this sort of information. Next, we have the type of the structure of the structure or annotation of that particular protein. For example, the chain chain initiation point at the start or the end, and then either it's a transmembrane, then metal binding properties, binding site. This sort of information is provided for each protein. Each accession is provided, and if we go below, you can find other information as well. For example, beta strand, helix, and these are the information that is present. Okay, so beta strand starts at this, helix starts at that, and this provides a better efficiency. Okay, so these are our proteins and they have beta strand at this position, helix at this position. If you make visualization of that, you can find a very good pattern out of it, which we will do in this video. Then we have a different proteins, and same information goes on like this. So we will obviously work with these two data sets and to provide you a better and more meaningful way of visualization. And we have already written that code because if we do write code as the video process, it will get a little longer, and we don't want to bore our students. So I'm going to leave this particular comment over here to just a reference of our knowledge, and so that you can understand. Okay, so and this is the basic bare bones ggplot2 command and how we manipulate this basic command into more meaningful visualization. First of all, you have to obviously initialize library ggplot2, and I'm utilizing PyCharm. By the way, you can do the same process in RStudio. I'm not going to utilize RStudio because PyCharm is more efficient when the data sets get bigger and better. You can download PyCharm from the link in the transcription. I recommend downloading and installing it. RStudio is good for beginners, but since you are now not a beginner anymore, you are at the intermediate state, I recommend that you install PyCharm because it provides more efficient way to analyze data. So we have initialized our library. Now we need to just declare a file name, which is HMM data, that is available within